I'm here to talk about a little bit about TNA, and mostly about the series of matches the Wolves, the Hardys, and Bully Ray and Devon had, and why I think the Wolves didn't really learn that much in those matches, and why I think, and why I'll give my point as to why. I think it's a strong point. First, let me talk a little bit about TNA and why I don't like TNA. They don't have a central character. Every single TV show on TV has a central character, besides TNA Wrestling, Impact Wrestling. So I don't even know how anyone can watch that show. And you know why? There's no one. I know why they get low ratings, because they don't know how to book their show like a TV show. And you're taught in school that plays and stories need a central character or tragic hero. And you're taught that in like 8th grade. And TNA still don't have it, and their fans don't care. And that it just does not make any sense to me. Another thing TNA fans say is that TNA has better wrestling than WWE. Alright. If you just want to have, every single week, you just want to have 5-star matches, that's good. Good for you, TNA fans, because I don't. When WWE have a really good match, it's really special. When they have a really good match, it's really awesome, special, epic moment. But TNA happens every single week. Every single week, everyone's going over everybody. Nobody gets over if everyone's going over everybody. How the hell is anyone going to get over? You have one guy on top, and you have him being the central guy. You can make anybody you want. Nobody in TNA has that ability. Maybe Jeff Hardy. But they won't do that because he can't go overseas, and they're too busy like giving him the gimmick Willow or something like that. So he's the only guy who has that ability. He has the skill, but they're not going to do it because I'll get to that later. Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy, and all those people. They have nobody who's willing to, who can do it. But I mean, let's face it, they've given so many guys the ball, nobody's been able to carry it. Austin Aries, Bobby Roode, Chris Sabin. I mean, they give them these titles, everyone goes crazy, everyone's saying they found the top guy. And no, everyone's flat, it always flops. There's been not one guy who's been... It's been, how long has it been with TNA? It's been 12 years? And they've tried with some guys. I mean, I think they've had Jeff Jarrett there. I mean, they had guys who actually know the business. And they probably know, okay, this is how Vince does it, so let's give it a whirl. But nobody's been able to carry the torch. No one's been able to do it. It flops every single time they try to give somebody the ball. I mean, they randomly had Gunner, like, almost win the title and beat all these top guys. Like, just so random. And TNA fans don't care. They don't see it, they don't care. All they care about is they want their 5-star matches every single week. They want their badges, they want their reminders of the Attitude Era, they want their ECW stuff. And that's all they care about. And again, enough for TNA. Let me go on to the Wolves. And their little rivalry they're having with the Hardy Boys and the Dudley Boys. They had, I don't know if they're still having it. But I'm just going to deflect this main point people always say when I read a recap or I see somebody saying something. They always say, this little thing they're doing with the Dudleys and the Hardys is really helping in teaching the Wolves. I don't agree with that at all. I think that's an absolutely ludicrous statement. Okay? What is when you learn something? When you learn something, it means you learn something new. You learn something new every day. I mean, learning is like learning something new. You can't learn something you already know. I know how to sit in a chair. I'm not going to go to sit in a chair class. I'm not going to go on how to turn a camera on, start a video class, because I know how to do those things. So why the hell are the Wolves going on to how to have a 5-star match class? Because they've had 5-star matches in Ring of Honor. If Ring of Honor didn't have 5-star matches, they would be dead. I'm pretty sure all the Wolves did. Why do you think the Wolves have their reputation anyway? Because they had great matches. They didn't have it for anything else. They can't talk on the mic. They can't act. So the only thing I can think of, if they have their reputation as these great guys in wrestling, is because of their wrestling. So I'm pretty sure it's because if they didn't have 3-star matches, they get great wrestling reputations. They had to have 5-star matches. A Rock got a great wrestling reputation, not because of his wrestling. Because he didn't have 5-star matches to 5-star match. He had his reputation because of the way he talked to the mic and how he acted. And Stone Cold Steve Austin, the same exact way. It wasn't just because of the wrestling. Since the Wolves can't act, and the Wolves can't talk on the mic, and that means the only thing I can think of is the reason why they have this great reputation is because of their great wrestling. So I assume in Ring of Honor, all they have is 5-star matches. So if they're having 5-star matches with the Hardys and the Dudleys, now what are they learning? They're learning how to have a 5-star match? Oh no, they're learning how to fall through a table. Oh, they already know how to do that. Okay, they're learning how to climb a ladder. Oh, they already know how to do that. Okay. Oh, the fans. Oh, how many fans did they wrestle in front of a Ring of Honor? 1,000 fans. How many fans did they wrestle in front of in TNA? 1,000 fans. Now let's say if they went to WWE. Everyone said good thing they didn't go to WWE. Look how great they're doing in TNA. Okay, if they went to WWE, they would actually have to learn something. Let's face it. This is the Wolves in WWE. They'd have to wrestle people in 5-minute matches, not 30-minute matches for 5-star classics. WWE wouldn't give them the gimmicks of the Wolves. They would give them completely different gimmicks. They'd probably split them up. Who knows? They can keep them together. They could split them up, give them new names, new gimmicks, new personalities. And guess what? They would have to wrestle in front of roughly 12,000, 11,000 people on Raw. 8,000 on SmackDown, 7,000. And guess what, Wolves? You would have to wrestle in front of 4,000 or 5,000 people who have no idea who you are. And people in TNA know who you are. They call you the Wolves. They give you the same gimmick as the gimmick in Ring of Honor. 99% of the fans in the crowd know who you are and know what you bring. So you don't have to do anything to them that they don't already know. If you're going to WWE, you would have to wrestle in front of 5,000 people who have no idea who you are. Who just think you're this young kid, who don't know anything about you. Casual fans and little kids. You'd have to have a new gimmick in front of a new audience, wrestling people in 5-minute matches that aren't 5-star classics. That is learning something new. And working on TV, and TNA it's not even really working on TV. They don't even know how to work cameras over there or anything. And guess what? You'd have to talk on the mic in front of a lot of people, with a lot of people watching at home. And you have to develop characters and keep the characters relevant. You can't just be the Wolves, wrestle in front of 800 people, and have your 5-star matches. Because that's not learning anything new. Because what are they doing in Ring of Honor? Let's go down the list. They had 5-star matches, gimmicks were the Wolves, they were together as a tag team. They wrestled in front of roughly 1,000 people. What are they doing in TNA? They're the Wolves. They're wrestling as a tag team. They're having 5-star matches, and they're wrestling in front of 1,000 people. Now, if they went to WWE, they wouldn't be the Wolves. They might not be together as a tag team. They were wrestling 5-minute matches, and they would have a completely brand new audience to wrestle in front of. And their audience would be consisting of 10,000 people, with about 6,000 or 5,000 people who have absolutely no idea who you are. So you would have to introduce a brand new character. You would have to start completely all over. That is learning something new. If my leg got amputated and it fell off, then sitting in a chair would be different. I'd have to learn something brand new because my leg's gone. So sitting in a chair wouldn't be that easy. Alright? Turning on a camera. Well, what if the camera was in Japan? What if the letters were in Japan? I can't read Japan. What if it was a camera I never saw before and it was in Japan lettering and Japan words and then I wouldn't know how to work and have to learn keyword Japan before I had the camera. If you went to WWE, you never had a 5-star match in front of 12,000 people, not being the Wolves. So you would actually have to learn. But sitting in a chair with 2 legs and working an American camera, it's easy. Wrestling in front of 1,000 people, having 5-star matches, that's easy. Because that's what they've been doing their whole career. And guess what their characters are? The Wolves they're the crowd they're wrestling in front of in New York. They're all smarks. They all know who the Wolves are. They don't have to show themselves to a new audience at all. So I just cannot comprehend how anyone says the Dudley boys or Hardy boys are giving the Wolves, or what are the Wolves going to pass on to another person? How to have a 5-star match? The Wolves already know how to have a 5-star match and how to be the gimmick of the Wolves and have the characters of the Wolves. They already know how to do that. I said Wolves 1,000 times. It's so dumb. And TNA fans and people who love this little series match they're having, they don't even realize this. They just say learning experience and then that's it. They just go. They just like, that's it. They don't think about it. They don't have any perspective. They just say they're learning. The Dudley boys ain't teaching them anything. The Hardy boys could really be well. The Hardy boys could really, really do a good job of teaching them how to have a 5-minute match because they know how to have a 5-minute match. But they are not teaching them how to have a 5-minute match. They're giving them more, they're cultivating their bad habits. Any bad habits the Wolves learned on the indie scene, Hardy boys and the Dudley boys are just increasing those bad habits. What do they know how to do now? All they know how to do is have if they have a 5-minute match in TNA, they're going to try to fit every little spot they can into those 5 minutes. And they're just going to be a disaster. They're teaching them more bad habits. The only thing they're teaching them is, it's like if I went to a chair sitting school right now and someone said, you have to fold your knees up and you have to hold your feet. You have to hold your feet while you're trying to sit down. That's making it much more difficult. All the Wolves and all the Hardy boys and Dudley boys are teaching the Wolves is, here's how to have a 5-star match. What do the Wolves know? How to have a 5-star match. That's what the Wolves lived on. That's how they got the reputation. So what the hell are they learning? They don't have to play a new gimmick. I can go through it all day, but no matter how much I go through it, it won't get through TNA fans' heads. They will not comprehend it. They'll be like, what's the point of having a 5-star match? They'll change the whole subject. It doesn't matter what the point is. Can you do it or can't you? What's the point of having a 5-minute match? Well, can you do it? Can you have a 5-minute match without trying to cram every single spot you've ever learned in the history of your wrestling life into it? It's not easy. I'm pretty sure if you're wrestling Goldust and William Regal in a tag team match, they'd be able to teach you how to do it. And they wouldn't be like, okay, here's how you do a flip and everything. They would just be like, simple wrestling. Wolves don't know how to have a simple wrestling match. I don't think they do. No matter how much you try to tell smarks and TNA fans, what I'm trying to tell people at home, they won't comprehend it. It doesn't get through their heads. And they'll change the argument. That's what they always do. That's how they get away with it. They change the argument into something that's into their favor. TNA wrestling is unwatchable. WWE is watchable. It's not very good, but it's watchable. TNA is literally unwatchable. And they're a bunch of assholes, too.